Today we've been invited to Youngwood Court, the famous home of singer Norwood Young. He's currently being featured on E's hit reality show, High Maintenance 90210.
Hey, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Come on in.
This is beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Hunter Wild here at Youngwood Court with Norwood Young, former lead singer of Pieces of a Dream. Correct. Norwood, very nice to have you here with us on Wild About LA today.
Thanks for having me.
How long have you been in the music industry?
Well, longer than I'm willing to admit, but for a very, very long time, in excess of 10 years.
Okay.
Way in excess. For about 10 years or more. Okay. Yes.
And you started singing?
Yes, I started singing. I had my first recording contract at 17.
Wow. Now, how did that happen for you?
Well, I was singing in some club or something underage in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. I grew up in Jersey.
Okay.
And a lot of musician friends of mine at the time were working teenagers in Philadelphia, Pieces of a Dream, as a matter of fact. And I was on a local Philadelphia show, evening show, and I sang 2 songs. And I got a call from my manager, and then that turned into a meeting with Pieces of a Dream. But, however, when I first met Pieces of a Dream, we just met as friends and gigged here and there.
Okay.
You know, and I went on to have I started out as a solo act and had an album out on Philly International and then with MCA. And then all of a sudden I got a call, I guess 2 to 3 years after that, requesting me to fill in for what was supposed to be the original Pieces of a Dream lead singer.
Wow.
They had an addiction and couldn't get into the studio. Wow. So I actually had 5 days to complete a whole album. And then it actually went gold, and the rest is history.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Congratulations. That's awesome. How old were you when you realized that this was your dream, that you wanted to sing?
I knew that I wanted to sing maybe at the age 4.
Okay.
I knew that was my destiny at 4. Not that I just wanted to sing, that I had to sing and I had to do it as a life. For a life, yeah.
And did you sing in church choirs?
Oh, most certainly. That's That's the crux of it all.
Now, tell me about Pieces of a Dream. What was it like to work with them?
It was great to work with them, and it was frustrating at the same time. Primarily because when you love to sing and you love to do what you do, that's why you do it. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, when you have your own realms of thinkings and the way things should be, it can sometimes be frustrating for the members that are already there. So when you have a light that shines, as I, just because of who I am, and I love the Lord, and I don't have a problem saying it, and I guess that's what people are attracted to. Some other folks tend to get jealous sometimes when the interviewer wants to interview you and not have that much interest in the other folk. And clearly, Pieces of a Dream and the gentlemen involved are brilliant. Mm-hmm. They're geniuses. But unfortunately, when I came into play, I wasn't one of the members. And actually, when I signed the deal with them, it was under the, it was within the guidelines that, it was within, no matter what. It was within the understanding that it would be Pieces of a Dream featuring Norwood, just so that I wouldn't get tied up in that, so it was let's just say it was an experience, good and bad, but it was an experience.
And how long did your singing career last with Pieces of a Dream?
My singing career lasted with Pieces of a Dream for 3 years. And the other thing about the industry is I had my own management, they had their own management. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, their management, in my opinion, didn't handle them the way they should have been handled. So therefore, when we would be on the road and they'd be sharing a room, I had my own suite, just because that's the way I know what people are being paid. And unfortunately, managements, agencies, when they get these naive singers that are just hungry for doing it, they sell themselves short. And I've been blessed enough not to have to do that.
That's awesome. You said that you were from Jersey originally? Yes. How long have you been here in LA, and what has that experience been like for you?
Oh, boy, it's been a roller coaster. It's been a roller coaster. I've been here for about 12 years. Okay. Like I said, it's been an experience. It continues to be an experience. I was saying to one of my friends who happens to be a part of my PR team, I was saying to them a couple minutes ago how when I first moved here, after the Pieces of a Dream experience, and I moved away, I was in Europe, then I was in New York, then I came back here because I was starring in a show. And I then decided to be here because I was in the earthquake. I was involved in the earthquake in '94, I think it was. And I was in a townhouse, and I saw the wall split in front of me. Wow. And I said, oh, no, I'm going to move on some land that's flat and no fear. So that's how I ended up moving into the home that I live into recently. Okay. And the home that I moved into, I did I made a few, choices. I made a few choices in how I decided I wanted to adorn the front of my home. The neighbors did not quite like the way I decided to decorate my home. You see, I'm being very nice on your show, right? Yeah, they didn't like the way I decided to decorate my home. Okay. And within that, it caused national stir. I was on CNN as the story of the day and a whole bunch of crap. Awesome. But because of no, it wasn't awesome. I'll tell you why in the long run it wasn't awesome. Okay. Why it is now, but it wasn't then. Because of the fact that what I didn't say earlier is I became bitter because of the way the music industry was becoming. Mm-hmm. You could take a sample, or one person could sing one note and make a whole song. Mm-hmm. And even today, artists go into the studio, and if they can't hit a note or reach the proper note, they quantize it and they make it right. I'm an artist. That does not fly for me. But so I had become bitter in the music industry and stopped singing. And what I found is that all of the hype and the publicity and the press and the attention that I was receiving based on my property, I allowed to cover up my desire to sing. You see? So 10 years went by where I wouldn't record, I wouldn't sing, I wouldn't listen to a radio, would not buy a CD. Wow. Yeah, it was, and at the time I didn't know how affected I was until now, which is why I'm happy about the new CD. So within that, it was a painful time. You know what I mean? And I didn't experience the pain until maybe the past year or so, because I basically sold my soul, right. Not to the devil, but just sold it to hype. You know, so the experience is here where I had people shooting bullets through my windows and yada 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 yada. Yeah, but until I had to succumb to the fact that creating music, writing music, singing music, performing is in my blood, is when I was able to see that was nothing but a Band-Aid over a wound that was never healing. Now I'm happy to say it's healed. You know, and I will no longer be associated with pain. And that is what all the old hype did. It was association with pain. Mm-hmm. Now, why it's great now is because you being here, you know, is part of the segue as to why my music is happening. You know, so there is a light at the end of every tunnel.
Now, with you going through that as an artist, with someone who's looking at you today and aspiring to be where you are, say maybe 5-10 years, what would you tell them?
Not to lose focus. You got to stay in it to win it, and everything happens in divine order. So just because you say this is your time, it's not necessarily your time, but you got to stay in it and wait for the blessing.
Amen. Absolutely. Just had to let that one soak in. So what would you say that success means to Norwood Young?
Success is to have a full life. A full life consisting of whatever that means for you. A full life for Norwood Young means a relationship with God first and foremost. That's pure, true, and honest, because He sees everything anyway. So it better be honest. Can't lie to Him. And then my family, and then my music. Monetary things make life very, very convenient. You know, comfortable, but it by no means will bring you happiness. Right. I would trade any excess that I have in this world today for the consistent relationships that I have with my family and my friends and my God. Mm-hmm. You see, so success for me is having a full and complete life, depending on what you consider full and complete.
Okay. That's beautiful. Now, there are statistics that show there are many people that come here from all over the world. This is between here in New York. This is where you come to make it. There's a 95% of people that never make it. I don't know if they give themselves a time limit when they come here, which to me is that's like the kiss of death. Mm-hmm. But to come here and not to make it a year, what do you think is the cause of this? What would cause them not to succeed and have to go home so soon?
Because I think they're living the dream and not the reality.